Okay, welcome to my 4-punch hippo manipo guide. So first I'm going to start off with talking a little bit about the theory behind this, and then I'll get into actually showing you how it works on console. Okay, so you see here there's 3 columns. So this represents the first open, this represents his second open, and the third open right here. And what we're trying to do is manip all of these 3 so that he opens 100% of the time. As you can see in the highlighted regions, he opens 2 out of 2 times. Yeah, so I'll talk about when you start the fight a little bit later, but assuming you start the fight at the right time, which is 5 minutes exactly after reset, you'll be on this frame, as long as you hit the right frame rule, the 8 frame rule. It'll be right here. So then he'll open 100% of the time on the first punch. And then assuming you hit him on the first frame and do the strat correctly, you'd be right here, and he's going to open 0 out of 2 times. So what you need to do is you need to delay 2 to 3 frames to get, so you delay 1 to get here, 2 to get here, 3 to get here for the second open. And how you do that is there's 2 things that can delay it. One is it depends on what frame you punch him on during his open. It's a 5-frame window. So if you punch him on the first frame, you'll be at 24 afterwards, second frame 25, third frame 26, fourth frame 27, fifth frame 28. So you can't punch him on the 5th frame. That's too late. This won't work. You want to punch him on one of the first 4 frames, and you want to know which one you did it on, because once you know which one you did it on, you can do right guts to delay a frame each. So if you hit him on the first frame, then you need to do 2 right guts to get here, because right guts delay 1 frame each. Except don't do the last gut as a right gut, because then it delays 2 frames instead of 1. So just do them in the middle somewhere, and then yeah, so then you'll be here and you're good for the second punch. Say you don't know if you're on first or second frame, you can do 2 right guts and you'll either land here if you're a first frame, or on 26 or 27, depending if you're on first or second frame. So then you know you're here. Preferably you know which one you're on, but as long as you're in here, you have a pretty good shot at getting this right here. So this is a very same thing really. Just you need to delay 1 extra frame. So say you're on the early one, 26, you need to delay 1, 2, 3 frames. And if you're on the late frame, you need to delay 2 or 3 frames. Either would work. So what that means in practice, if you hit him first frame and you're on the early frame, you do 3 right guts. If you hit him on the second frame, you're at 27, so you want to do 2 right guts. 2 or 3 would work, and then whatever. So yeah, etc. for all the other frames you could hit him on. So like if you're on the late frame and you hit him on the 4th frame, so 1, 2, 3, 4, that yeah, that wouldn't work. That's too late. So if you're on the late frame, you need to hit him first, second, or third frame. Wait, no, that's not right. Oh yeah, if you're on the 4th frame, it would work because it's delaying 1, 2, 3 frames. Sorry, yeah. Because first frame would be here, second frame here, third frame here, 4th frame here. Anyway, you need to delay 3 frames, and it could either be 2 or 4 depending on if you're on the early or late coming in. Anyway, so that's a little bit confusing. It might not make sense right now, but I'm going to show you how it works on in gameplay. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Oh, sorry, you're not going to be hearing sound right yet. Okay. Okay, so now we're at hippo. This is coming in on the right frame rule. I guess I'll talk a little bit about that right now. So there's one frame rule you have to be on, enter the fight on, and so it's an 8-frame window to press start before the fight. And there's a video that Summoning Salt made that helps you do that. You start it right as you hit reset. So you hold down reset, start it, and release reset at the same time. And what you want to do is use like your foot or something to buffer start through the first couple things, and you can make sure the video is synced up with your game. And then once that happens, when you get to 5 minutes, Great Tiger is going to appear, and you want to press start right when you would punch him. And you'll see in that video, I'll put it in the description. So anyway, now we're on the right frame rule. The save state is on the right frame rule. And so there's 2 methods to hit this first punch. A pseudo buffer and or just waiting it out. So you could just wait it out, hit him there, or you could do 3 left dodges and do that. Okay. So I'm just gonna do a couple scenarios here, tell you what frame I think I hit, and we'll see if it works or not. How many guts I'm gonna do depending on what frame I hit. Okay. Okay, so that was too early. Don't want to be too early. That was 2nd frame, so I'm gonna do 1 right gut. 2nd frame again, so 2 right guts. And they'll open. Okay, let's do another one. That was 1st frame, so I need to do 2 right guts. That was 2nd frame, so I could do 2 or 3. And you probably can't tell in the video exactly what frame I'm hitting it on, but when you start playing around with it, it's easier to tell on my video is 30 FPS, this is 60 FPS, the game is, so it's going to be tough to tell. Anyway, so let's try hitting him a little later. So that was probably 3rd frame, so I'm not going to do any. I could also do 1. Okay, it was 2nd frame, I guess. That was 3rd or 4th, so I'm not going to do any. That was 2nd, I think, so I'm going to do 2. Okay, it must have been 3rd. See, when you get to the later frames, at least for me, it's much harder to tell. So I kind of aim for one of the first 3, and then I'll have a good idea of where I'm at. So there was 2nd frame. So I do 1. 2nd frame again, so I'll do 2. And something really useful for telling what frame you hit. If your 1st frame, he doesn't do a red flash. I'll show you what the red flash looks like. When he opens, he does a red flash, right there. If your 1st frame, he doesn't do it because you hit him too fast. If your 2nd frame, he does the flash, but it's really quick. It's only for 1 frame. So if you could barely see a flash, you were 2nd frame. 3rd or later, he does a 2-frame flash. So that's how I can kind of tell 1st, 2nd, 3rd frame from each other. Not everyone can see the flash on their TV, but that's just what I use. And then, yeah. So you don't want to be early on the 1st punch. I was gonna say something else. But yeah, oh yeah, I aim for being on the early frame, going into the okay, well that would have worked. I aim for being on the early frame because then I can do an extra gut on the 2nd punch if I need to, if I'm not sure. And it's just consistent. So Hippo has... Okay, I guess I'll talk about a little bit about the strat. I didn't even talk about the inputs. So the first thing you do is normal, obviously. Punch him in the face and then guts. So that was 1st frame, 2 guts. And then you want to do a left quick dodge and a gut. I messed it up. 1st frame, 2 guts. Like that. And it's a little tough. Well, the inputs are pretty tough. But what you can't do, so you can also quick dodge by pressing left and right, but you can't do that here because you can't press left or right or down into up until this point, which you should be familiar with if you know any other hippo manips. I guess I didn't mention that. On the first fights until hippo, you can't press right or down at all. And then yeah, so it's pretty tough, and you have to do a perfect buffer, or else it won't work. And then the other thing to watch out for is there's two delays he can do after the punch you cancel. I think that was the short delay. No, that was the long delay. If he does the long delay after the punch you cancel, then he's gonna do an immediate last open. But if he does the short delay, he'll do I think it's a 28 frame delay before his last open, which doesn't matter to you. It just helps you kind of know if you hit if to expect an instant open if he did the long delay. And if he does the long delay, it's actually going to give you a 40-second time, and if he does the short one, they'll give you a 41 because the last delay actually matters more than the first one. But anyway, that's about all you need to know for the strat. You can ask me for any questions, LukeandDart158. Thanks for watching.